Hello there, Libra. Thank you for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast for the week of December 14th through the 20th. On Monday, the card that you have coming up is the Five of Clubs in reverse. Five of Clubs in reverse. What I'm feeling off of this card is that you are going to be involved with a group Monday that is going to be feeling less than inspired about whatever it is that you're doing. So maybe you guys are doing some kind of tedious work that doesn't take a lot of creativity or imagination. I don't feel like this is going to be anything really terrible or nasty kind of work. It just feels like it's very ho-hum work, and it's going to be, feels like a lot of you in the group are going to be wishing you were doing something that was more fun or more exciting or more creative. Maybe, there's a group that is getting to put up decorations for a Christmas party, and you're stuck doing the filing with your group or something, so that's kind of what I see going on, just a group of people doing something that's kind of tedious together. On Tuesday, Libras, what we have coming up is we have the Six of Cups in reverse. Now, the Six of Cups in reverse is just telling me that you have a situation on Tuesday where you're looking back at the past. And as you're looking back at the past, you're realizing, wow, phew, I am glad I'm out of that situation. The key here is look back at that, figure out what are the lessons that you learned from that situation and carry them forward so that you've got something positive to come out of that memory with, and then let the negative memory float on away from you. All right, so now on Wednesday, Libra, what we have showing up is we have the Falling Tower. And the Falling Tower is kind of a long story. This is typically a distressing situation, but it has a wonderful silver lining. So let's just talk about that a little bit. The Falling Tower really talks about a big shakeup, something that made you feel secure in your life. Could be a relationship, could be a vehicle, could be a job, could be your home. Something that made you feel secure is suddenly and surprisingly yanked away or yanked out of your experience. Okay, so then what happens is it's a distressing situation, and so it takes a little bit for you to get back on your feet, kind of get your breath back again. And then once you do, what happens now, that the situation where that thing is yanked away from you, I see that coming in on Wednesday. But now what I want to talk to you about is what comes next. So once you get back on your feet, once you start to get your breath back in you, which will happen sometime after Wednesday, or for those of you who are quick recoverers, maybe even Wednesday, you start looking around for opportunities, ways to fill the holes that that thing being pulled away from you left in your life. And what you find out is that those opportunities out there are better than whatever it was that made you feel secure before. A lot of times we have a tower experience where we have something that makes us feel secure pulled away from us or yanked away from us because we've been sitting in this safe place, because that's what a tower is. People run to the tower to be safe when they're under attack. And so we've been sitting in the safe place for too long, because after you've been there for a while, it does feel so safe that you don't really want to leave there, not unless you have to. And so if we stay there, then we grow stagnant. We learn whatever we can learn from that situation. We grow as much as we can grow, and then we just start to stagnate, which is not healthy for anybody, for us or for the people around us. So when the universe brings along that tower situation, it really is to kind of get our butts in motion and say, hey, come on, you're not done growing. Get out into a place where you can grow some more. And see, if we're not going to be looking for that next opportunity, that next place where we can grow, the universe will help us. No stagnation allowed. And so that's what the tower situation is all about. It's all about, look, you have hit the top here of what you can accomplish, what you can learn. It's time to move on. It's time to live up to your potential. It's time to put all of your skills to use. It's time to learn new skills. So that's what that is all about. So in the long run, it turns out to be good because those new opportunities are better than the old thing. But right at first, it does feel a little bit distressing. Let's move on to Thursday. Thursday, you have the Eight of Swords showing up, and this is just telling me that you have a situation in your life that you're not sure how to move forward with and you're feeling stuck. The thing is that with the Eight of Swords, what you always know is that that situation is really created up here. It's some kind of limitation that you've put on yourself. And if you can find a way to look at this situation that you're feeling limited in from the eyes of someone else, maybe even from your neighbor next door, if you can think about, well, if I would tell her about this situation, how would she react, or how would he react? What would he or she think? Then all of a sudden you kind of get a little different perspective on the situation. And then what happens is you can see your way out of it. But this doesn't happen unless you can get that different perspective, because it's you limiting you. And a lot of times we limit ourselves without even realizing that we're doing it. So another perspective is the key advice on that card. If you don't try to look at this with another perspective, you're going to be staying kind of stuck. That's what this card really says. Okay, so let's move on to Friday. Friday, you have the Two of Clubs. The Two of Clubs is coming up so often this week. We have so many choices. So this is talking about that you do have a choice to make Friday, and this is between two different things that you would like to do, or two different people you would like to interact with. And you have to decide which one to go to, because you don't have enough resources, time, energy, money, whatever, to be able to do both, or to do all of these if it's more than two. It could be more than two. So you have to prioritize, and you have to focus on one thing so that you can actually move forward with that. And I see you actually making that decision without any problems on Friday. Libra, Libra. Okay, so Saturday, King of Cups showing up in reverse. This is somebody that you're going to be interacting with on Saturday. Let's see, Saturday would be the 19th. Okay, so this is someone you're interacting with on Saturday, and they are pouring out their feelings to you. For most of you, this is going to be a male, although for some of this is going to be a female. And this person, wow, I'm feeling like for a lot of you, this person, when they're pouring out their feelings, they have such resentment inside of them that they are actually like saying things that they know will hurt you just to hurt you, because they have so much resentment inside of them. And they're things that aren't even true. They don't really mean them. And if you would catch them on a sane day when they don't have so much resentment and anger coursing through their blood, they would be absolutely embarrassed that they said these things to you. But I feel like on Saturday, they're just letting it all rip. So not obviously a fun interaction. Advice, advice, advice on this one. The best thing you can do with this situation is just be quiet. Let the person say what they need to say. And then walk away. Don't try to engage. Don't try to fight. Don't try to convince. Don't try to cajole. Just walk away. Let this person calm down and cool down before you try to interact with them, because when they're pouring out their feelings in this way, they're not in a logical place. Nothing that you can say is going to make sense to them, and nothing that you can say is going to be okay. So all you can do is, if it's appropriate, say, I still love you, and we can talk about this later. But definitely, we can talk about, I hear what you're saying, we can talk about this later. But you don't want to engage because they're not in a place where they can engage from a sane level. You want things to mellow out a little bit first. Okay, so that is Saturday. Next, what do we have? Sunday. Okay, this isn't a surprising card for this time of year. This is the Knight of Coins in reverse. Knight of Coins in reverse talks about not being so diligent with our money. So on Sunday, what we're doing, Saturday was interaction with the emotional, probably man. Sunday, what we're doing is we're doing some impulse spending. So on the 20th, we're not being so careful about our budget. We're kind of spending some money and telling ourselves, well, I'll fix that later, where it creates a hole in the budget. And the other thing that it could be that for those of you who are scheduled to work on Sunday, that you could be calling in to work. It feels like those of you who are calling in, feels like you have things that you need to get taken care of and you don't have time to go to work. That's kind of how you're looking at it. So we've got some interesting stuff going on Sunday. I feel like for a lot of you, this is, some of you are going to be feeling under the gun on presents, especially if you're going to be traveling the week before Christmas. Like, you need to have already gotten all the presents. And so now you're not making such logical choices that make sense as far as your money goes on the presents. You're just finding something that looks good and you're just going with it just because you want to have something that's nice. And so if it's a little bit more expensive than you planned on, or a lot more expensive than you planned on, you're kind of getting it anyway just to get that deadline covered. That's what it feels like for a lot of you as far as this Knight of Coins in reverse on Sunday. Not saying that's what's going to go down with all of you, because this is a general reading, but the basic general meaning of this is that either you're not being diligent about bringing your money in on Sunday, or you are not being diligent about making sure your budget goes everywhere it needs to go. One of those ways it's going to be coming in for you on Sunday, Libra. Okay, so that is your week. For those of you who would like to schedule, well, you guys know how to schedule a private session with me. It's right there on the screen. Anyway, thank you all for being here today, for hanging out with me. I do appreciate all the subscribes, the likes, the comments, and the shares. I just appreciate all of you guys' support so much. Everyone have a fantastic week. I will see you back here next time. Peace out.